The play The Boor by Anton Chekhov is set in pre-revolutionary Russia. The main characters in the play belong to the land-owning class, the rich. Elena Ivanovna Popov is a land-owning widow mourning over the death of her husband who died 7 months ago. Her aged servant footman Luka encourages her to stop being buried inside the four walls of the house and to enjoy life. But she refuses firmly as she intends to prove her true love and faithfulness to her husband in spite of him being unfaithful to her. As you know, her husband was unfaithful to her, but still Popov wants to prove that she is faithful to her husband even after his death. Luka reminds Popov that she is still beautiful and she has got a long way to go. She has got many things to be enjoyed in this world. She should not waste her life just because her husband died a few months ago. At that time, the bell announces the entry of Smirnov, a person who comes to collect the money due to him by her husband. Smirnov comes to meet Mrs. Popov because her dead husband had borrowed money from him. Popov refuses to see him, but without courtesy, he enters the dining room. Since her husband died 7 months ago, she has not left the house, nor has she received any visitor in the house. But without any courtesy, he just walks into the dining room. As she does not have ready cash, she promises to pay the day after tomorrow. He comes and tells her that her husband owes money to him and he needs the money that day itself, today itself. But she tells him that she does not have spare cash or ready cash and she promises to pay the money after the manager comes back home. She also says her state of mind prevents giving money matters her concern. She also tells him that she is not in a mood to think about financial matters, but Smirnov refuses to leave until he gets the money. In the argument that follows, Popov calls Smirnov a bear or a boor for his boorish manners, uncivilized manners. Popov calls Smirnov a bear or a boor because of his boorish manners, uncivilized manners. Smirnov challenges her to defend her feminine rights in the form of a duel. So he challenges her to an open fight with him. She accepts the challenge. Surprised by her boldness, courage, he begins to fall in love with Popov, which he is forced to admit. And finally, without fighting with her, he admits, he confesses his love to her. Even then, she is not willing to back down from the challenge. The argument that follows ends up in Smirnov kissing Popov passionately. The play ends with Luka and some workers armed with household weapons entering, intending to protect their landlady. But when they come to protect the landlady, they see something surprising. They see both Smirnov and Popov embracing each other, hugging each other, kissing each other. Now let us see how the plot of the play is developed. The conversation between Popov and Luka reveals that he is trying to convince her that she should enjoy life while her beauty lasts. So when the curtain rises, when the play begins, we see Luka, the servant, advising, encouraging, coaxing the landlady Popov to enjoy her life. He further highlights the uselessness, futility of mourning for her dead husband for such a long time. Luca also tells her that it's a waste mourning over the death of somebody for such a long time, in this case, 7 months. Despite her late husband's unfaithfulness to her, she vows to prove her love by mourning for him till her death. We know that her husband was unfaithful to her, but still she wants to remain faithful, obedient, loyal to the husband till she dies. Something ridiculous. Popov is irritated by Luca announcing the arrival of Smirnov, to whom her dead husband owed 1,200 rubles. He asked for cash to pay the interest on a mortgage. Hearing this, Popov feels disturbed, highly troubled. The argument builds up to a climax as Smirnov highlights the infidelity of women, and Popov reveals the same about men. They get into an argument in which Smirnov tries to convince Popov that women are unfaithful, women are disloyal, women are disobedient, whereas Popov tries to convince Smirnov that men are bad, men are unfaithful, men are disobedient or disloyal. Popov insults Smirnov, calling him a boor or bear. Smirnov is asked to go out. He refuses. Popov calls Luca to throw Smirnov out. The fight between the two continues. Then Smirnov suggests Popov should pay for insulting him by engaging in a duel with him. Finally, Smirnov challenges Popov to an open fight. Popov brings her late husband's pistols but asks Smirnov to teach her how to fire. She doesn't know how to fire. Smirnov starts teaching her. While teaching her, he is captivated, he is mesmerized by the beauty of her eyes and is touched by her courage. Though she is a lady, she accepts his challenge to fight, and he gets mesmerized, he gets impressed by her courage. The climax heightens as Popov suggests going out for the duel. The climax heightens, that becomes very interesting because Popov tells Smirnov that better they go to the garden and fight. Smirnov is not interested in the fight anymore as he has fallen in love with her. The anticlimax is when the servants come armed, carrying so many arms to protect the landlady. They see Popov and Smirnov kissing each other passionately. There are three major characters in the play. First one is Popov. She is a little widow who is very pretty to look at. Smirnov, the second character, gets attracted by the beauty of her eyes. And this man, Smirnov, is a middle-aged man, and Luca is an aged, elderly footman. Despite the exaggerated behavior, her character reveals certain traits, certain qualities. She behaves in an exaggerated way, but still, we come to know that she has got some qualities. What are they? She is very emotional, first one. Popov is very emotional. The play opens with Popov fixing her eyes on a photograph of her late husband. She weeps and talks to him about her love. That shows that she is very emotional. Second quality that she has got is strong determination. Even though it is impractical to mourn for the rest of her life, she vows to do it. For any woman or a man, mourning over the death of somebody for 7 months is unimaginable. But she is determined to do that. She vows to do it. The third quality that she has got is her courage. She is very bold and courageous. When Smirnov challenges her to a duel, that is, fight, she accepts it and does not give up even after he expresses his love for her. Now look at Smirnov. He is rude, he is a boor, he is ill natured, he enters a house without a show of courtesy and behaves very badly. He walks into the house without being invited. Second, he is irritable, highly irritable. First one, he is very rude and ill natured. Second one, he is irritable. When Popov refuses to pay him, he gets angry and shouts at her without any sympathy for a woman who is in mourning. When Popov tells him very politely that she is willing to pay him that next day, he gets angry and shouts at her without showing any sympathy for the woman who is in mourning. Next one is that he is highly chauvinistic. He highlights his male superiority over women. Next one, he is manipulative, highly. Smirnov is manipulative. He has lent money to many men and they have all evaded him. His intention is to get what Popov owes him at any cost because he is not able to collect money from others. So, Mr. Smirnov is rude, ill-natured, and Popov rightly calls him a boor or bear. He is irritable, he hates women, and he displays his male superiority over women. Next one, he is manipulative. He has lent money to many men and they have all evaded him. So he tries to get money from Popov by hook or crook. The next character that we have got here is Luka. Luka advises Popov to stop mourning as she should enjoy life. He tries to save her from Smirnov's insults. The play clearly shows the effect of money on human behavior. Money has got a great impact on human behavior, and that is clearly highlighted in the